today, which is Mrs. Manal Mamdouh, which is a former employee at the Canadian Aid Program. She's also an amazing decoupage artist, and she's going to be joining us today to tell us more about decoupage and what type of art this is and the interest of people in this type of art, and more about this with Mrs. Manal. A very good day, Mrs. Manal.
Hi, good afternoon.
And we have the pleasure to have you with us in today's episode.
Same here.
Thank you very much for joining us. And first of all, we need to know more about the decoupage art.
Decoupage actually is a very simple form of art that anybody can do it. It started in France during the 17th and 18th century, and it was mainly for the art of the poor. They used to call it like that because they used to use like paper photos to refurbish and decorate their furniture. It only needs it's paper, colors, and you know, some creativity in the design, and that's it.
Ms. Manal, as I am watching now, and the viewers of course are watching, you've got loads of your artwork that you've done. How long does it take you to make a piece of art like one wonderful one like we're witnessing now?
Actually, it depends on the size and the design. Some pieces might take like 2 to 3 hours, and some other like 2 days, because it all depends on the material has to dry very well. Like for example, these trays, they only take like 4 hours, and something like that, it takes 2 days, because I'm using like you know, molding paste and ceramic molding paste. So, and plus what I do actually more is, it's not like just a picture. No, it is a picture, and I do paint on it and use more colors to give it some value.
Okay, why you're interested in this kind of art?
Number one, maybe I'm a little bit fan of the Egyptian art. Plus, I traveled a lot abroad and went into houses, and there I always find people feel proud of their art and their heritage, which I don't, in Egypt, unfortunately, not all of us like that. So what I thought of is why not having our art rather than, you know, the French or the British or American art, and start doing our own stuff to feel like it's the identity. And through that work, because what I do actually is like our Egyptian famous artists, their paintings on things that can be used at home. So rather than people start going to exhibitions and get to know, no, I'm trying to bring the stuff to their doors. Yeah.
Where do you display your stuff for sale? And is it easy to sell what you do?
Actually, no, it is not easy. It's very difficult because it's like new thing, and not everybody is very fan of, you know, people. Excuse me, like there is always a perception here that the handmade stuff is very expensive, and that's why people sometimes try to avoid this. So it's not easy to sell, but what I'm doing my own marketing, either on the social media channels.
Do you have a site?
I have like a Facebook page and a group, so I always put my stuff on it.
What's the name of your Facebook page?
It's Manal M Art.
Manal M Art.
Yes. So this is something. Plus, I have like a WhatsApp group also, where I always display my stuff. I have there is a gallery in downtown in Qahira Gedida, New Cairo, where I put my stuff and display it. But I'm just starting up. It's a small business. I'm starting it up, and hopefully one day it will work.
The prices?
It ranges these tea boxes are for $250.
Which is a very good price, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very expensive because as I said before, I have like a development background. I believe in what I'm doing. I would like to, let people more know about our Egyptian art. So I'm not trying to put very high prices. Actually, the material itself, the cost itself is high because some stuff we use are Egyptian made, but unfortunately we have to get some stuff imported. That's why the cost might be a little bit increased, but my profit margin is very little.
Okay, do you have people helping you in this kind of art?
No, actually I'm doing it everything from A to Z. But there is also, of course, like a supply chain behind this. You have a carpenters, you have a designer who does the stencil, you have, a lot of people working on that. So it is like a beginning industry in Egypt because a lot of people started to know the decoupage work and working on it, especially women. It's like also like an economic, income generation for women, who can do it from home.
Mrs. Manal, how do you feel when you're actually accomplished and done with a piece of art that you work on?
Good question. Actually, each one, when I finish, I become very enthusiastic. I go to my husband and kid and tell them, this is my masterpiece. So they tell me each piece, you tell us about it like that. And I always feel like, once it is display, it is going to be sold out. But for me, every piece is a masterpiece.
And who backs you up when you come to work on your artworks?
What do you mean by back me up?
Who is your husband? You mentioned your
I
husband.
have my small family, of course.
Yes.
They are the great supporter to me, my husband and my child. He's not a child, my young man. Okay, but they are great supporters. And actually, I have also my friends who I know since I worked from, at the Canadian Aid, who always support me in that stuff, and especially being specialized in the Egyptian cultural thing. Yeah.
Okay, this is an Egyptian art, a kind of, it's a handmade, and do you intend to train people to learn this kind of art?
Actually, I have like a long plan, thing that I really wish I can do it, is like start training some people and do like, if there is going to be a demand on this, because no way I'm going to do it all by myself and be able to meet this demand. So my dream is like to have a small workshop, have girls train them on how to do it, and then because this is like becoming a sort of employment for them, and start selling or marketing these things. But it's a long-term thing, not now, because I just started, by the way. I started this only 6 months ago.
So 6 months ago. Ms. Manal, you used to be a former employee at the Canadian Aid Program. The talent for decoupage was always there since you used to work at the Canadian Aid?
No, actually, it's something new. I love drawing and painting. I'm not a painter, by the way. It's just a hobby. I had a one-to-one tutoring on it. Then I started my own painting. I did a few exhibitions. Then after, I left work and staying at home, I felt I need to learn something new and doing. And I taught myself everything about this art through watching YouTube, the films and stuff like that. Yeah. But I love it because I felt like my passion for painting and art, and rather than doing a big painting, staying in it like 3 or 4 weeks, no, this one, it just let my energy go in it and finish it in 2 days.
Okay, Mrs. Manal, why the younger generation are not interested in the handmade stuff, the arts, and they look in another place. So why they don't give attention to this?
Maybe they are not aware of our great, artists, because when you see the, like Hussein Bikar or Abdel Al Hassan, they have their own techniques, and when you see it, you feel like, no, they cannot be compared to any artist from outside. Maybe it's our education system that does not focus much on this kind of art and art. I think so, yeah.
If we want to work on enhancing the art of decoupage, Mrs. Manal, how do we, what means, from your point of view, are the most successful means to enhance and to promote this type of art? Do you think social media? Do you think media through us as a channel? Which way do you think is the most successful way?
I think both, and especially I think media has a very important role in this. Like, people start, when they start watching what we're trying to do in life, like seeing these products, they just don't say it is like a piece of paper that you stick it on a piece of wood and that's it. No, it has a lot that goes behind it, and you can get something very artistic out of it. That when you're having a tray like this, when you serve people tea or coffee, on it they will feel like it's nice.
It's amazing, actually.
Thank you. So I think, yes, because people, they like visual things. Here in Egypt, we like to see things rather than, only hear about it or anything. Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Manal Mamdouh, former employee at the Canadian, Mahmoud, former employee at the Canadian Aid Program, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now moving to a quick break, so please stay tuned.
Oh, that's amazing.